Welcome to this video. Today we talk about Grace Millane. Make sure you are subscribe and like. Let's get started. Introduction. Grace Millane, a 22-year-old from Essex, England, embarked on a life-changing solo backpacking trip to New Zealand in December 2018, seeking adventure and new experiences. What began as a dream journey for this young woman quickly turned into an international tragedy that would change the way the world views women traveling alone. This video explores the tragic events surrounding Grace's disappearance, the investigation that followed, the trial of her killer, and the legacy she left behind. Her story is not just about the dangers of solo travel but also serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of women's safety in the modern world. Grace Millane's journey. Grace Millane was born and raised in Brentwood, a small town in Essex, England. From a young age, she had a deep passion for travel. After finishing her studies, she decided to go on a backpacking trip that would take her across the globe. She started in Australia and eventually made her way to New Zealand, where she was eager to experience the breathtaking landscapes and rich culture the country had to offer. Grace's family and friends remember her as an outgoing, enthusiastic, and kind-hearted person. She was always the life of the party, and her positivity shone through in the way she engaged with others. On her trip, Grace made it a point to share her experiences with the world through her social media platforms. She regularly posted photos of her travels, and in every post, she looked joyful and full of excitement for the journey she was on. However, Grace's family began to notice something odd when they didn't hear from her on December 2, 2018. Grace, known for her regular communication, suddenly went silent. The disappearance. On December 1, 2018, Grace Millane went on a date with a man named Jesse Kempson, whom she had met through the popular dating app Tinder. The two spent the evening together, and it seemed like a typical date between two strangers who had just met online. Grace was last seen around 9 p.m. when they both went to Kempson's apartment in the Eden Terrace area of Auckland. The following morning, Grace's mother, who had been in constant contact with her daughter, noticed that Grace was not answering her phone. This was extremely out of character for Grace, and her mother quickly grew worried. She immediately contacted the authorities, and the search for Grace began. As the days passed without any sign of Grace, the case gained significant media attention. Her family and friends made public appeals, hoping someone might have seen her. Everyone who knew Grace described her as a fun-loving, independent woman, and they were devastated by her sudden disappearance. The search for Grace. New Zealand authorities acted quickly to investigate Grace's disappearance. They combed through the area where she was last seen and began reviewing security footage from nearby buildings. The breakthrough came when police traced Grace's last known movements to Jesse Kempson's apartment. The authorities quickly zeroed in on Kempson, who initially gave conflicting statements about his interactions with Grace. The police gathered more evidence, including text messages and surveillance footage, which showed Grace entering his apartment but never leaving. This led investigators to believe that something much more sinister had occurred. The investigation soon pointed to Jesse Kempson as the prime suspect in Grace Millane's disappearance, and he was arrested on December 8, 2018. The suspect, Jesse Kempson. Jesse Kempson was a 26-year-old New Zealand man who had a history of troubling behavior. After being arrested, he initially claimed that Grace's death was an accident that happened during a consensual sexual encounter. He said that they had both been drinking, and that things had gone wrong. However, forensic evidence, phone data, and surveillance footage contradicted his account. It was revealed that Jesse Kempson had strangled Grace to death, then placed her body in a suitcase and disposed of it in a nearby forest. He had tried to cover his tracks by deleting evidence from his phone and by lying about the events leading to Grace's death. His actions were callous and cold, and the investigation painted a disturbing picture of a man who was trying to avoid responsibility for his crime. The trial and verdict. Jesse Kempson's trial began in 2019 and became a national sensation in New Zealand. The details of Grace's murder, including the chilling evidence of his actions after her death, shocked the world. The prosecution painted a vivid picture of how Kempson had manipulated and killed Grace with no regard for her life. On November 22, 2019, Jesse Kempson was found guilty of the murder of Grace Millane. The verdict was a relief to Grace's family and supporters, but it could never undo the pain they experienced. Kempson was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, ensuring that he would never again be able to harm anyone. While the trial offered justice for Grace, her family's pain was far from over. The verdict, however, served as a significant step toward healing for the Millane family. The impact on society. The murder of Grace Millane sparked a worldwide conversation about the safety of women, particularly when traveling alone. Her tragic death shone a light on the vulnerabilities that solo travelers, especially young women, face when interacting with strangers online and in real life. The case highlighted the risks that many women take when they go on dates with people they meet on apps like Tinder, and it served as a harsh reminder of how important it is to prioritize safety. In the wake of Grace's death, there were widespread calls for changes in how dating apps handle safety concerns. Many people, especially women, became more cautious about meeting people they don't know and sharing personal information with strangers. The case also brought attention to the need for better laws and policies to protect women traveling abroad, and there were widespread discussions about how to improve safety measures for solo travelers. Grace's legacy. Grace Millane's story, while tragic, has had a lasting and far-reaching impact. Her death raised awareness about the potential dangers faced by women when traveling or meeting new people. But Grace's legacy goes beyond just the tragedy of her death. It also serves as a call for change. In honor of Grace, her family established the Grace Millane Foundation, an organization dedicated to promoting women's safety and providing support to victims of violence. Through the foundation, Grace's parents continue to fight for the safety of others, ensuring that their daughter's death is not in vain. They work to raise awareness about women's safety, particularly in the context of travel, and they hope to make a difference for other women who may face similar risks. Grace's story has inspired many others to take precautions and be more mindful of their safety. Her tragic death serves as a powerful reminder that no one should ever take their safety for granted, and that we all have a responsibility to protect and support each other. Conclusion. Grace Millane's death was a heartbreaking tragedy, but it has sparked important conversations about women's safety, online dating, and solo travel. Her story has left a profound impact on society, and her legacy continues to inspire change. Through her family's efforts and the creation of the Grace Millane Foundation, her story lives on, and the fight for safer environments for women continues. As we reflect on Grace's life and the circumstances that led to her tragic death, we are reminded of the importance of safety, awareness, and looking out for one another. Grace was a young woman full of promise, whose life was cut short, but her legacy serves as a beacon of hope for others and a powerful reminder that we must do everything in our power to protect those who are vulnerable. If you're fascinated by true crime stories and the advancements in forensic science, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth coverage of real-life mysteries. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.